Hi, everyone. This is Jenny Bayless, and we're here to present the Colorado Springs real estate market update for February. And with me, I have a special guest co-host, Leah Keeling. Leah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jenny. How are you?
I'm doing great. So Leah is the newest addition to the Envision Advisors team down in Colorado Springs. So we're super excited to have her join the team. She is a Colorado native, has lived in Colorado Springs for 20 years, and she's extremely familiar with Southern Colorado in general. So she's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the area and real estate in general. So we're so excited to have her join and help all of our clients out.
Yes, thank you. I am so excited to be a part of the team. It's been awesome so far. Just jumping right into it. So thank you.
Yeah. So let's start with kind of the summary for February, and it's just same as before, right? Just not enough inventory, too many people looking for a home, and it's just craziness out there. I think that's the best way to
Yes,
summarize it.
exactly. So many qualified buyers and no homes. So
Yeah, it's interesting because typically, uh, seasonality wise, we would start to see a dip in people really looking for a home. People are just kind of
mhm.
waiting for, I guess, school to get out, but not this year. We're seeing still a flurry of activity February into March, and it's no signs of slowing, in my opinion.
Not at all.
Yeah, and I think that so we have a chart here for those of you that are not watching the YouTube. It's on showing trends, and it's pretty wild to see that for this year, we're at 19 showings per unit, whereas February of last year we're at about 10. So it's almost double the amount of people going into each unit, and it's pretty much the reason behind that is just that there's just not enough inventory to tour. So everyone's seeing the same property over and over again.
Right. Yes. And
All
you
right.
go to the homes and there's a line of people waiting to go in. So
Yeah, so I had told Chris that in a previous podcast, I was telling him that whenever I show a property, I feel like I'm at Disney World, and but there's no fast pass tickets. So
no.
just everyone's just kind of in their own little pods out in the yard, in the driveway, sidewalk, just taking their turn to go into the
Mm-hmm.
home. And then
Yes.
it is kind of funny just kind of hearing some of the conversations, overhearing them while you're just standing in the driveway. It's just a bizarre situation to be in, and I really don't know when we're going to kind of get a little bit more inventory to kind of smooth this out. It should be interesting.
I know. I'm hoping for Q3 maybe we can get some more inventory.
Yeah, I think
It
that's.
definitely
Oh, go ahead.
it's definitely intimidating for, your buyer when you're standing out there and there's like 10 other groups. So, yes, we definitely need some more inventory.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it before, so I totally agree. It would be incredibly intimidating if that's your first and only experience so far into buying real estate and thinking that it's you know an absolute free for all for that.
Yes, exactly.
So kind of going into some of the other charts that we have, I think some of the more notable ones are days on market. Did you want to kind of talk about this chart?
Sure. So our average days on market in February are 20. And let's see, back in February of 2020, they were 33 days. So a lot less days on market. And just personally looking at that number, I feel like it's even less, for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, some properties go on market, off market, and then come back on. So I think that contributes to that 20 days. But that is crazy.
Yeah, I wish that they had like a median days on market, because I'm sure that there's every once in a while there are those, outlier type properties that are just on the market for years for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason that are probably dragging that number up. That's a really good observation on that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and then kind of the talk of the town is the median sales price. Did you want to kind of talk about the milestone that we reached last month?
Yes, so we actually reached the 400,000 mark in median sales prices, which is crazy. Um, and last year at this time, we were at 341,000. So this month, the average is 403,000 on the average and median sales price. So that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think that a lot of people are starting to get concerned about affordability issues here, because you think about average median household income, about 60, 70,000 for household income. That 400,000 mark, that is, that's really pushing the boundaries of affordability in that case. So it should be interesting to kind of see what will happen as time goes on. I imagine that as more inventory comes, if interest rates stay the same, my best guess is that we're going to see a leveling off. I don't really see too much of a dip happening. Of course, I don't have my crystal ball, but I would imagine that at some point it's probably going to level off, and we're not going to see this wild appreciation that we've seen over the past year.
Right. I completely agree. Yeah, that's hard for first-time home buyers right now. It's really difficult. So
Yeah,
hope,
absolutely.
yeah.
So, can you give some examples of just some of the, I guess, hurdles that you're seeing in the market, just with all the competitiveness, just to kind of shine some light as to the general, um, aura of the market
Mm-hmm.
at this point?
Yeah, so I find when I'm working with my first-time home buyers and they don't have a ton of cash to bring to the closing table, it's been super difficult, trying to put in a strong enough offer to get to win. So that has been definitely the biggest hurdle. A lot of, these properties are getting like 10 plus offers. And, it's hard for first time home buyers to be competitive enough to win when they don't have a ton of cash to bring at closing. So for us being agents, we have to really be on the ball when it comes to these properties that are, first day on the market, or if they drop back on the market, falling out of contract. It's just about us being really quick to the draw on getting those. So it's just extremely competitive right now.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And it's interesting because I would say that lately, most of the listing agents, um, they want the standard things in all of their contracts. Mainly appraisal gaps is what they're
Mm-hmm.
looking for. And I mean, I've had some tell me that they don't even really want to see the offer unless there's an appraisal gap in it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting time right now.
Yes, every single agent that I've called to find out about the property, they've all said that they want, their sellers want the appraisal gaps.
Mm.
Um, so yeah.
It's definitely interesting times for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So then homes for sale. So last month I made the proclamation that I can't believe that there's so few homes on the market. I just can't imagine it getting any lower. Well, it dropped by 1 unit. So last month we were at 460 and this month we're at 459. So um, I don't want to say that again. I don't want to jinx anything. So let's just kind of leave it at that and see where next month's falls.
Exactly.
So yeah, so then just for those of you that are looking at the blog or on the YouTube post that we have, I posted an article that just kind of highlights some of the same thing that Lee and I just discussed. It was just 18.2% year over year increase between last February and this February. We crossed that milestone $400,000 median price point mark. So it's interesting to see, but it has a lot of information related to the behind the scenes reason as to why this is happening. And it's just kind of the same thing that probably everyone's been hearing: low supply, high demand. There's a lot of people that are still moving into the area, whether it be due to the jobs that are coming in, just regular seasonality moves such as military. And then there's a lot of people that are moving here because they have the option to now, because the teleworking is a viable option. So there's just a lot of people moving into the area, and there's just not enough product to meet the demands, the housing needs of everybody who wants to buy. So it's just a really interesting dichotomy. And it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the year plays out. I don't really think that it's going to be too much different than what we're currently seeing. What about you, Leah?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I just can't get over that 18.2% increase.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great for sellers, that's for sure. Yeah, I want to say that it's probably just going to continue like this. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how we end the year.
Yeah, I think it'll be a historical year for the city for sure.
I agree. We have a
Yeah.
ton of growth happening, and yeah, a lot of opportunities coming into Colorado Springs. So
Hmm. Yeah. Everyone's kind of, excited to be here, I think, and a lot of companies are following suit as well as people. So, um, very cool stuff. But thanks so much, Leah, for accompanying me today on the podcast. I really appreciated you hopping on and providing your insights.
oh, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thanks, everybody.